Hail and well met. Welcome to the next episode of Isekai Realms. We're all wearing our favorite clothes.
Yeah. 2 weeks in a row, or whatever
2 weeks in a
week
row.
this
It's
is,
amazing.
however this works.
I'm pretty sure the last game was 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week, 2 months. Who knows how long ago it was?
Time travel.
We dressed exactly the same and we are ready. Okay, fine. Here we go. So I'm Eric Scott DeVee, playing myself, Elric Thalavar in the Forgotten Realms. I used up all my magical plot armor to summon Vindicator, and now I wield Vindicator, and I'm having issues adapting. Take it away, Allie.
Hi, everybody. I am Alexander Pitchford, or Allie for short. I am a writer, game designer, and TTRPG streamer. And I play Amara Valerian, who is me, but an elf, and awesome. And I'm enjoying it.
No,
you want to
you're
say
awesome
anything about Idol
already.
Champions?
Yes, I do have things to say about Idol Champions.
Sweet.
Because I totally have that open already. All right, but I do want to tell you about one of our sponsors, which is Idol Champions. Idol Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons and Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure, including Farida, Havilar, and Mehen from the Brimstone Angels novels. The game is available for PC and Mac on Steam and Web, Epic Game Store, Google Play, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, iPad, iPhone, and on all Android devices. For more information, check out idlechampions.com. There might even be a seasonal event happening right now. I don't know when this is airing, so go check it out, please.
Marry today.
Yes.
I have two other people to tell you about, but at first I'll tell you who I am. Sorry, I got a little turned around there.
Yeah, no worries.
So I'm Rhiannon Held. I write urban fantasy is Rhiannon Held. The Silver Series and Space Opera is RZ Held, the Amsterdam Institute series. I am a professional archaeologist, and I have two other partners to tell you about. There we go. We made it there. Norse Foundry specializes in metal dice. When you roll them, it feels like you are skillfully smashing the rigid armor of the monster horde. They also offer other gaming accessories, and you can find them at norsefoundry.com. Phoenix Dice is named for the creature that rises from the ashes because they use all recycled materials. You can find their dice and accessories at phoenixdice.com.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Randy Henderson, professional Bigfoot breeder and jackalope trainer, and yeah, that's me.
Hello,
How are
everybody. I'm
those
Joel Everett.
jackalopes doing?
Usually one of your mods in the chat is Rumpus Imperator. And over to you, Chris.
All right, welcome back. We've been gone not so long in real life, all of us here, but a little bit longer in not real life. And so if some of us appear slightly disorganized or punch drunk, it's because we just ate a meal, and so we're probably sleepy. When last we left our heroes, they had returned from a attempt to find Gedrin Thalavar, aka Future Shadowbane, at Castle Thalavar, only to be rebuffed by a rather rude old woman. What was I going to say? They returned to Briar House, where their hostess Jamal was able to inform them that she was working on an alternative opportunity for them to potentially track down young Gedrin, as Eric, had a vision that he thought took place in a fest hall of some note here in Westgate called the Purple Lady. And just as it turns out, Jamal has a contact within the Purple Lady, a woman who these days calls herself Arita, which is Elvish for the Silver Fox. And so they are discussing amongst themselves their plan to go visit. They received a note from that contact indicating that they would have to come after midnight and they would need to wear something bearing the symbol of the Briar Rose so that they could be recognized. You will conclude your lovely dinner and dessert, Thanksgiving style, with Mistress Jamal, the babes, and a really lovely evening. And now you're off to plotting. So plot for me, would you?
I had one point of business. So, Rhiannon, I knew you
Mhm.
mentioned that you wanted to see about learning some spells.
Yep.
Would you prefer to do that rather than infiltrate with us, or because I don't want to hold you back, and that seems very useful. So,
I mean, it makes sense to me because we talked about me wearing the brooch, but I think that anybody could wear the
right,
brooch, and I
theoretically,
would
yeah.
give somebody the signet ring,
Mhm.
so that I'm not like walking around holding it.
I'll simply say, as your dungeon master, that I can equally manage you being there or not being there, but should you be needed and not be there, well, then I can't manage that.
True enough. Anyway,
Well, I mean, I could come and then like, I could guard the car.
right.
And then you
I'm
could
just
call
saying
somebody as
I don't want to.
necessary.
I kind of volunteered you to wear the brooch and stuff, but like I don't want to put pressure on you. Like if you don't want to do that, that's okay. So,
I'm fine with it. I was just thinking, you and Allie probably will need some private time with contact. So
spicy. Anyway,
Where's the
no,
bell?
no,
Where's
I
that
understand.
town
I
crier
understand what you're
for
saying. Yes, yes. That might happen. We'll see.
Indeed, we shall. All right. So thank you for that short conversation. What I'm
I did
interested
have a,
in. Oh, terribly sorry. Go ahead, Joel.
no, just a question for Mr. Jamal. So are we going in the, can your contact get us in the front door, or can she maybe get us in the through the service entrance earlier?
I don't have a
Or
way
how
of.
is she planning to get us in, I guess?
I
Do
would
we need to dress for
assume.
a party, or?
Yes, I would assume based upon the intention to have you wear a briar rose or the symbol of the briar rose, the expectation is you'd come straight in through the front door. I haven't talked to her in some time. This is my first communication in a while, and I don't think I'm going to be able to send another in the time that we have that'll get you in some hidden entrance. I'm afraid you're going to have to approach this one straightforward.
Okay.
Joel, I think you cut a very good figure with the plate armor and stuff. So I think that's good.
I was going to say I probably need to change.
I don't think you do. Like I think that's very in keeping with, dwarven theatricality.
Yeah. You're fine.
I mean, look what Allie's wearing. It's very much in
All right,
keeping.
I'll just put the accent on real thick and pretend I just crawled out of a hole and rolled down the mountain.
Right, exactly.
Jamal will say to you,
Someone stole your beard.
if I insult you, Sir Dwarf, by saying this, it is not my intention. I am instead only attempting to assist you. I don't know if you removed your beard for some reason, perhaps because of the loss of a loved one, or some other cause. But if you wished to be less readily identifiable in that regard, I do have plenty of disguise materials that would allow us to craft a very appropriate one for you.
Perfect. I think I know what I'm doing from now until the until it's time to go.
Excellent. All right. I thought that might be of use to you. Very good.
I appreciate the offer, and I will take you up on it.
So what I need to know as a DM is, how you plan to dress, how you plan to present yourselves, what you plan to bring by way of your stuff of valuable, what you plan to leave by way of your stuff as valuable, and just sort of like, your 30-second general strategy. That's what I kind of want you to collectively discuss before you set out upon your journey. Begin discussing.
Okay.
Well,
So let's start with who's going to be carrying the signet ring. I think the one who probably made the least impression on no, wait. I think we all upset the matron at some point.
yeah, I mean,
But somebody's going to be wearing the
I
mask.
just asked her a question.
That's true. We can put that's true. Okay, so who's going to wear okay, so I guess question number one is Rhiannon going to go study magic, or is she coming with us?
I think I better come with you. I'll just
Okay.
step back at some point.
Okay, in that case, we should probably put the mask on you and leave the signet ring with you.
Yep. At least at first.
Initially, yes.
Mhm. Okay. Those of us who have armor, just wear your armor and own it, I think would be the right way to go. Those of us who are just wearing clothing, should be Rhiannon, Randonius, and myself, will find some suitably theatrical, celebratory sorts of clothing.
I mean, I was going to go a bit more low key.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
This place has a certain vibe to it.
I mean, there is that.
You decide whether you wish to fit in or stick out. Up to you.
Well, I was going to go for fitting in.
Fair enough.
Just describe the vibe
Yeah.
we're fitting into.
I
This
mean,
is
I'll continue wearing my fancy outfit, but unbuttoned down to here. Show my.
Well, it is a fest hall.
I was just going to
It
say,
is a fest hall.
why don't you tell us a bit about what you already know about it, Eric? Now, whether this information is in or out of date, a fest hall
Yeah.
is a fest hall.
You're right. So, fest hall is a polite way of referring to a place as a brothel, and it was specifically they came up with this term in order to appease angry mothers and fathers who are not keen on their children dealing with such locations. Anyway, yeah, it's there's lots of dancing and lots of music, lots of
Activity.
activity. Yeah.
Transactions in the back rooms.
Okay.
And in the front rooms. There will probably be drinking involved. There will probably be plenty of flirtation involved. Allie's gonna have a field day.
Thanks.
Or a night.
I did not mean that in any deprecating way. I expect you to have a great time. So if you want to blend in, you're probably going to want to wear something colorful and stylish, but not like super risque or like
mean,
attention
we did-
grabbing.
Yeah, we don't work there.
Right.
So
Right, we're
therefore,
not trying to look like we're employees.
But we're trying to look like we're guests who should be there.
Mhm. I think
You want to dress like
Oh.
the girl who waited in the line for a while and is now in and having a good time, right?
Okay, so why don't you all decide what those outfits are going to be in a moment? Again, what leave that is valuable, magical, coin related, etc.
we don't need to bring all our coin
no,
with
we don't.
us.
It would probably help to
Depends on how hard
bring.
we're planning to party.
It would
I'll-
probably help to bring some of it, however.
Yeah, I'll keep what I have on me. I'll keep what I have stashed, like in the little pouch that I've kind of hidden underneath the front of my armor. I mean, are we walking in here armed? That seems a little
Well, I'm not, but I have an advantage.
fair. And I can't with the armor I'm wearing, I can't easily hide even the stiletto.
That is correct.
Would they look
Valid.
weird at me if I had that on me at least? That's the question.
You could ask Mistress Jamal.
I could ask Mistress. In fact, I will ask Mistress Jamal what
She
her
will tell you that
recommendation would be.
adventurers regularly visit the Purple Lady, and she hasn't been in a while, but she's seen that people walk in with their weapons. However, they're likely to ask you to peace bond them.
Okay, that's fair. I'll leave my I'll keep them with me, and at least if they ask me to peace bond them, I'll peace bond them. I will also ask if I can use some of the because I'm sure they have them available, like a makeup kit or something.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, Joel
I
is
don't have
already
any of
working
my
on that
things.
project. Yep.
Hey, well, different makeup, but
Yes.
yes.
It's all. I
Just
keep
always
it all in
waiting
the
for us
same
to
place.
ask. Okay.
All right. So go ahead. Gear.
Should I dress like Shadowbane? Probably, right? Right?
I'm not answering that question.
Well, I mean,
Only if
yeah,
you feel
no-
like you
I
need
mean,
to.
Nobody but a couple of, well, okay. So one thing to consider though, what are the chances that the person we're meeting is the person who was on that rooftop and saw your first outing?
Hi.
I'm guessing just, yeah, that's
Oh,
my
yeah.
thought too. So maybe,
I don't know. I was,
Oh, that's right, but you weren't
naked and
dressed
covered
as
in
Shadowbane,
shit at the
you know.
time. So
Naked.
I wasn't naked. It's true. I had stripped off some of my clothes so as not to ruin them by wading into it's gross. Anyway, go back a couple episodes to see
You'll
what
know.
we're talking
You'll
about.
know.
Anyway,
You'll know.
all right. Yeah, I will go for grays and blacks, and then I will acquire some kind of
So let me ask you this question:
some kind of helmet. Yes.
Are we talking?
let's do
Are we
this.
talking Zorro-esque, Eric?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, that's the image I shall have of you in my mind. A 6'7"
fair
Zorro.
Broad hat and
I-
a domino.
I certainly, for mine, would like to. I would like to accent my little outfit with. I keep wanting to find like a half cape or something.
There are half capes. Are you wearing the leather armor? Is that the plan?
Yes, that's
Okay.
the plan.
So that's your predominant outfit, and you're looking for a half cape in gray, black, scarlet, navy blue. You've got all kinds of options.
I'll go with the scarlet since I've got the red boots.
Okay, fair enough.
It'll fit. But yeah, as far as the rest of it, I will once the makeup kit is available, I will probably do something nicer with my with my appearance, makeup wise, and then probably make my hair look a little bit nicer too. Try to do something with it instead of just leaving it
Fair
on
enough.
its own.
Weapon, are you just going with the stiletto, or are you going to put something else on as well?
I'll just go with the stiletto. I don't really want to lug around the long sword right now, honestly.
Reasonable. All right, I'm coming to you last, Rhiannon. Randy,
Wearing what I'm wearing.
the Pirate King. Randy, the Pirate King. Excellent.
Seems appropriate. Yeah.
And what do you have for gear beyond that mask?
Well, I think I'm handing the mask off, but I have my knife, my throwing knives just in case, and I'll leave most of my equipment here, but I'll bring my drum, my little drum, of course.
Of course.
And so I think we had 2 platinum, 4 gold, 4 silver to start, each of us from the stash.
Correct.
So I'll take like 4 gold, 3 silver.
Okay, reasonable. Keep in mind there is a pouch full of coin from Gandios that you have not upended yet to determine what its contents are. I gave that to you at the end of the last session. Okay.
And I'll make sure to tuck
Indeed.
that like where it can't be pickpocketed.
Gotcha. And Joel, I think you were wearing armor, correct?
It's all I've got, unless yes.
Fair enough. And the 2 short swords, or?
The 2. Sure. I mean, if I'm gonna go heavily armored, I might as well go all the way. And can I rig up the dagger, since it would be kind of hard to keep in the small of my back? Can I rig it up so that it's hidden in the beard?
I don't know. Can you rig it up so that it's hidden in the beard? Is this a skill you think you possess?
Depends on what I've got to work with. Probably not in the time I've got.
Probably not in the time you've got.
What is it that you're trying to hide?
I've got a dagger that normally
dagger.
lives in the small of the back, but I was trying to think, like, could I have it like tucked
In the
It has
small of the beard.
Yeah.
All of the beard.
With the, like hidden, slid down through the beard clasp. Well,
Yeah,
that's for
that'd be
another
bad
time,
if you
when I've got more
rolled or
time to work
something.
with.
As a wordsmith of sorts, although more of the spoken rather than the written variety, like the rest of you, I always enjoy it when people say things that I ask myself, has anyone ever used those words in the English language in combination before? And I'm reasonably confident that baby's on the half tip here, and that we've invented something new. If anybody gets that reference, extra points to you. Okay, fair enough. So I think I have a sense of you then, Joel. So Rhiannon, as promised, coming to you last.
I mean, so whatever's in the costuming, I'm looking for something bright, something that fits my body type, I think is going to be the primary
Please
concern.
roll a 20-sided die.
Okay. 2.
You'll spot it, and an instant later, the mark will chime in. There are a set of rather elaborate wizard robes in flame orange.
Mm. Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Probably need to change your hair color to go with those.
The mark
So
will
if we're using
say,
the mask.
that seems appropriate to me. It certainly sends the correct message in a dangerous place, doesn't it?
I mean, I have this thing about wizards because see, I'm not a wizard, and I'm
Mhm.
not I'm not into the whole like old man with a beard and like
Oh, I
big
don't
old
think an
robes.
old man was designed to wear that. Do you?
So is it cut so that it actually
Elaborate, fancy wizard robes, like a rich noble, a woman who also happened to have magic would wear.
okay? Because I was picturing one of those sort of like
Yes,
just
sort of rump.
camouflage. Yeah.
Gandalf would be proud to put it on. No, it's not that sort of thing at all.
Okay. Well, in that case, okay. You talked me into it.
Fair enough.
Not wearing anything
Arm
so
twisted.
unfashionable.
No, as a matter of fact, there's
Kind of like
probably,
Moon and Stars nonsense.
given the way she works, there is probably a person in this town who that's supposed to be patterned after. And that person is probably a powerful wizard of some kind or another. Just FYI. Okay.
Not a wizard.
Yeah, certainly. Not a wizard. Never.
Not a wizard.
Okay.
Don't even play one on Twitch.
All right. So I have a sense of all of your gear. The thing I haven't heard anybody talk about is potions. You've got a bunch of them. Have you distributed those in any meaningful way? Are you bringing some with you, or are they all just sitting in a pouch here?
I think we left them all on the belt, which I'm not sure who wound. I think Randy wound up with those.
Well, I'm pretty sure he wasn't wearing it roaming the street. Otherwise, I might have tried to pilfer it from him.
No, I think we left them.
Or
So do you want to split those up at all?
Because we have those gems. The gems are healing gems or protection gems. I can't remember. The little rechargeable
They're
gems.
freedom of movement gems.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Transferability of the ring to the gems. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was the one that
So-
we were going to sell, and we should definitely leave that one. The one that like
The
one time use
Ravenar.
changes.
The Ravenar, yes.
So I think Ali took the one that lets you to fly,
So the flight
or did she
potion.
not?
They're
Because
all
she
the
had
potions are
boots.
together.
Oh,
Yes.
all the potions.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't take
All
it.
in the potion belt, I guess. Well, we
The-
thought
oh.
about giving it to Allie, but Allie decided not to take it.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. So we have
At
a
the
healing.
moment,
we have
anyway.
a. We have a. We have a
We have
couple
3 healing potions,
healing potions.
one like remove disease potion,
conditions.
one invisibility, and one flight potion. And then we have the 2
Correct. Which if
the
you
2
ask
things that were in the bag.
Which if you ask Finnan to examine using his magic, he will tell you that these are probably potions that are designed to heal you, but they're not as powerful as the ones that you have over there. He's pointing to the 3 that you had that you discovered in the basement.
Should we take
Yes.
one of the
We're
powerful
talking
healing
about the-
potions? Just
the clay flasks.
Clay
what are you referring
flasks.
to?
That is correct. That is what he's referring to.
Yep.
Okay.
Speaking second edition to you for a moment, those potions are probably potions of healing, whereas the potions that you found in the basement are known as potions of extra healing. Since no one here is necessarily an expert at second edition, I won't necessarily give away the store on that, but it's probably right in the title to know that one heals less than the other.
Mhm.
Right.
Fair.
I mean, we probably
Probably
want a couple, a healing potion or 2. Do you have any opinion on regular or extra strength?
I think the only one of us who would really benefit from the extra strength healing potion is probably Joel, because the rest of us just don't really have that many hit points.
Okay, so a healing potion or 2 of the regular.
I mean, maybe I could take one of those. I think I have. What did we decide?
I'll take one because I'm support person, and makes sense
10
for
hit
someone
points.
who is less likely to go down should have one of them in case.
Okay.
If you need to pour it down somebody. Okay.
So you'll divvy those up 1 to a person, since you have a total of 5.
Yeah.
And so
So
extras go to Eric and to Joel. Regulars, or no, there's 3. So extras go to Eric, Joel, and
Randy.
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 Randy,
And regulars go to Allie and to Rhiannon.
Allie.
Sure.
Okay. Please scribble that away in your character sheets.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have how you're dressed. I have what you're bringing, a general sense of the money that you're bringing. That pouch, by the way, that came from Gandios contained Cormyrian coin of a much more recent vintage. 3 of which was gold, 23 of which was silver, and 24 of which was copper. 3 gold, 23 silver, 24 copper. Do you want to bring that along?
Yes, that should probably be our spending money.
Yeah.
Since it's not likely to arouse suspicion
Yeah.
or even attract notice.
Fair enough. So who's going to be the custodian of that pouch?
Rhiannon.
Me? Oh, all right.
I don't know. You're the responsible one.
You're the responsible one. I feel there's a Smirnoff Ice commercial brewing here. Drink responsibly.
But,
Right.
I mean, because I was gonna wear stuff around my neck, but that can only hold so much stuff before it looks really dumb.
Yeah, just real
Yeah.
chunky.
I mean, it doesn't have to be you. I was just thinking.
I mean,
Thing about being a not wizard is that there are plenty of one can wear all kinds of pouches and not arouse suspicion.
that's true. That's true. Well, maybe I'll just wear it outside my shirt. So, because like around your neck, it's harder for people to pickpocket it versus being at your belt.
Correct.
And so that'll just be like where I'm wearing my shit.
Just like Eric, all those episodes ago. Okay.
Oh boy.
So we have that. The flower is Rhiannon, yes?
Mhm.
Okay. And so now all I need, if you want to give me one, you don't have to give me one at all, is any kind of a plan you might have. Feel free to have no plan.
Okay,
I
so
mean-
I think we're gonna go meet the contact in the manner described and try to not
Yeah.
get split up once we're inside, and then ask her if she can get us down into the storage area where we are. Okay, ask her if she can point out any Thalavars in attendance.
Right.
And then ask to get down into the I'm trying to think the storage area. Cellar.
Yeah,
There we go.
the cellar. Did Jamal tell us that there's any specific way in which we're supposed to meet the contact, or we just assume the contact will meet us?
The contact will see you wearing the briar rose and approach.
Okay. But it not like inside or outside or around the back or
I think you're
all right, just
supposed to go straight through the front doors, as far as I know.
Okay, great.
Again, she didn't give any detail. I don't know her that well, but I will tell you
Is
she's
there-
fairly cagey.
mhm.
Is there some kind of recognition signal she will give us so that we know who we're talking to?
That's Jamal.
'Cause we'll probably be talking to people while we're waiting.
I think we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I mean,
we'll figure it out.
She looks
Yes.
a lot like Allie. Well,
Mhm.
I won't use Allie. I'll use Amara.
Mhm.
Honestly, Amara, you two could be sisters.
Mhm.
She's a little shorter
Okay.
than you, though.
Mhm.
I'll just look at Eric. It's like fine.
Okay.
Yep.
So, shall you pass those 4 hours? Does anyone have any? Do you want to pray to any gods in desperation during that time frame, or make any secret plans? Rhiannon has a plan.
Yeah. What does Rhiannon want to do?
Wizard store.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not a wizard. There are no sorcerer
Yeah.
stores. So.
Yep.
Not till tomorrow.
I need a spell book at some point as well. So
Yeah, I know I'd wanted to go try to get a different sword, but that doesn't have to be a scene. That can just be like
It
I
is
go
it is
and do-
unlikely that anywhere doing commercial business is
Would be open,
is
yeah.
is to be open at this point, since you are past.
That's
You're like
fair.
8 p.m. ish on a holiday. It's like
That's
getting
fair.
into the mall on Christmas. You're probably not going to manage it under the circumstances. Most places close when the sun goes down, and on a festival night like this, everyone's either out and about or deep in their cups.
Yeah.
So unlikely to be any shopping opportunities. But I appreciate your diligence. You do have all that money burning a hole in your pockets.
I do.
I was going to take Finn in to see if I could find the children again, not as like a whole scene or anything, if we can do it, but it's just as a role or something,
Sure.
if that's possible. But
I will have to throw percentile dice to determine whether or not you run into danger on the way. You okay with
Okay.
that?
Yes.
Okay. Reckless fools it is, my friend. 2 things. 1, you do not run into danger on the way. 2, you do not see any immediate sign of the children at that intersection.
Okay.
Finnan will tell you that he's happy to come back tomorrow and look again. It could just be that it's late at night for them to be on the streets. Given what Jamal's been telling me, this is a very dangerous place at night. You getting that vibe wandering about here yourself, even though there are plenty of drunken revelers about. Or it just could be that they're hiding, deep underground, so to speak, because of what they saw this afternoon. But I haven't given up hope on them any more than you have.
Excellent. Thank you, my friend.
You're welcome. He'll take the opportunity while the two of you are out and about on your own to indicate that he's had his eye on you and he's thinking you're doing a really good job of sticking to the tenets of Finder's Faith, and that his faith in you in that regard certainly does not feel misplaced. And if there's anything you want to learn, I'm happy to teach you. I will tell you that probably the most important thing that I can say to you is the importance of the choices that you make. Those are, above all else, perhaps the most important thing that you can do is make choices. Good, bad, indifferent choices.
Exercise of free will. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Great. And if you can help me hone my ability to inspire and influence through song, and
I will be happy to share with you all of the knowledge that I have.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So they will return from that little mission. Go ahead, Eric.
If I recall correctly, Jamal had something that she wanted to give me /
Oh,
the
yes.
team.
Thank you very much. I had almost forgotten that. When you two have a moment to talk, she will pull you aside and she will say, Mintassin gave me this. He collects magic trinkets from all around. And I have no reason to believe that this is from any world other than this one. But it was designed to help me in my after hours pursuits. And she'll produce a leather mask. It is black leather. It covers down to the mouth. So it's not quite a domino mask. It's a bit bigger than a domino mask. So it covers down to the mouth. And the thing that's distinctive about it is that it has curved horns at the top. And she will tell you, don't let its appearance fool you. I think it's meant to be more, the horns are meant to be more of those, more akin to bat's ears than they are meant to be of a devil or demon.
Right.
Yes, I appreciate that you're laughing about this, Ali, even though you're not listening to
during
it at
the
this moment in
conversation,
time.
I look around and I'm like,
are you trying to determine if you're being punked?
if there's a scrying sensor, that's what I'm looking for.
Candid camera.
The Realms version of Ashton Kutcher.
Yes,
waving around the
exactly.
corner.
Leaping out. Okay. You are not, in fact, being punked. This is, Eric, what is
I
known
thought
as...
you were going to say you're not, in fact, being punked this time.
Oh, yes. I mean,
Anyway.
the whole thing is you being punked. But beyond that, okay, we want to get less meta and more concrete. What she's giving you is known colloquially as a horned mask. And she'll walk you through what a horned mask can do. They call it because the two horns curving up from its upper edges. It allows the wearer to see as though the wearer were like an elf or a dwarf out to a range of about 90 paces. So 90-foot infravision. But more than that, your sight allows you to pierce all sorts of things. You can clearly see creatures that exist like ghosts in between this world and the world of the ethereal, like shadows in between this world and the world of the shadow plane, and all creatures that can hide in shadows. What's more, it gives you the ability to see through flames, mist, fog, smoke, and other opaque vapors or conflagrations. They just look like faint outlines or disturbances to your vision. You're protected against blindness of a magical sort, however caused, while wearing it, and you can't be dazzled or hypnotized or stunned by light displays, nor charmed by the gaze of a vampire.
Oh,
Sounds
wait,
very
there's
useful.
more. Now how much would you pay for this mask?
You can't, unfortunately, convey these powers on anyone else, nor can you detect illusions, disguises, or see invisible creatures. But you can use the mask to engage in a rudimentary degree of tracking footprints that people leave on different types of terrain. I thought of all the people, you would make the most use of this.
So
it has detective
Witcher
mode.
vision mask. Okay, cool.
Sound too good to be true? Well, free shipping if you order now.
Does it
Okay.
adhere to my face like
It
a
does-
second skin?
It does
Okay,
not.
that's
It requires you to tie
probably
it
for the
into
best.
place. It requires you to
Okay.
tie it into place. And like I said, it covers top of the head down to here when you are wearing it. It is.
I mean, probably not a bad thing to look horny when you're going to a fest hall.
It's a full cowl. Oh, Lord.
So I have a
Right,
I need
question
that kind of
for her.
party.
Yes.
Does this have any other properties?
It does not change
Please
your
don't
voice
do that.
intonation. You will need the bottom of the mask that modulates your voice to do this.
I am Elric.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, I that could work with my Zorro-esque outfit.
Indeed. Whether you choose to wear it out and about or simply bring it out in moments of danger is up to you. I imagine it will become distinctive depending upon what you choose to do with it.
Hmm.
She has a twinkle in her eye, the sort of mischief that only a dungeon master and a master thespian could bring to the table.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna put it on.
Yeah, I'm going to put it on. It's briefly disorienting to shift into this sort of like vision, but it's remarkable your level of clarity. Shadowed corners become no longer shadowed corners for you. That kind of thing. It's definitely, yeah, you like this. You like
Wow.
this.
Okay. Boy. All right.
Okay, so you will return to the group. As I said, I think you are all more or less ready to roll at this point.
And rock.
Well, we'll see about that when you get to the fest hall. Okay, so you'll set out in the streets in the company of just at this point Finnan, correct? So it's Finnan plus the five of you makes a grand total of 6. And you will walk the not very far destination to the Purple Lady. It is actually located on the very same street that Jamal's house is located on.
Oh,
Just maybe a quarter of a
Convenient.
mile down near the city walls. Once you're out on that street, you'll get that same feeling that Randy got when he was out on it before. There's plenty of revelers still out, even at this late hour, because you're here after midnight. But the street has a more predatory and dangerous feel to it than it did during the day. There was this safety in numbers. That safety doesn't exactly exist anymore. However, you're all armed in one way or another, and all in fact carrying magical equipment. So if you're not ready for danger, who is, really? You'll
Someone of higher level than us.
Yeah.
you'll make your way down the street to what is the Purple Lady. You will be able to determine that it is the Purple Lady for an assortment of reasons. One, it's a dominant structure on the right-hand side of the street at which there are crowds of people, carriages coming and going. It is a multi-story stone structure located near like a little canal near the wall of the city. And it has a giant sign with a woman in purple, glowing, looks like probably fairy fire or something like that, moving sinuously back and forth. Yeah, that pretty much is the place you're looking for.
Sorry.
Perfect.
And are there runes, like the common runes? or
Yes,
whatever
there are
underneath the
runes
spell?
in at least 4 languages, 3 of which you've seen before and 1 of which is new to you. But it's all squiggles and slashy lines as far as your vision is concerned.
I'm going to write
I'm gonna
down
have to learn
the
how to
runes
read that at some point.
That's what I'm going to write down the runes that are similar to the ones we saw outside the Giant's Folly.
Excellent. As I mentioned, there are a crowd of individuals. I mean, I don't know that I would necessarily call it a line as much as a group of people that are trying to get in the front doors of the place. And there are a considerable number of people that are actually leaving at this hour. The people leaving are leaving into carriages as they're departing, and at least half of those carriages have what are obviously the livery of noble houses on them. So whatever party was going on, whatever raucous event from sundown to midnight that was going on is now wrapping up, and sort of the hoi polloi are being let in. One person described this location as where the wealthy hipsters and elites mingle. I'll leave you all to determine who might have said that. And it definitely has that sort of a vibe. There are two male human guards hulking, like as big as Eric, only wider, in front of this place, wearing studded leather armor, carrying long swords and scowls on their faces. And there are, as I said, a horde of mostly young, pretty, or handsome people. So when I say young, early 20s is the oldest. Some of these people are teens, and they look like they've acquired clothing that they hope will do to get them in here, but they're really relying upon their beauty to gain them entrance to the place. And you can see that while that's working for some, as the guards are deciding and ushering them through, it's not working for others whose beauty is not quite as manifest as the people who are being let inside. What would you like to do?
Well, Allie, I think you're up. or
Great.
Rhiannon, depending on what face you're wearing.
Well, I was gonna say, like,
I think it's
having
Allie
put
and
on-
Rhiannon, yeah.
Right. I mean,
having put on the mask earlier, I probably would have some kind of like neutral face that's not mine, but like
Yeah, do we
imagine my
do-
sister or something.
Yeah,
I was
we
just
can
going to
have
say,
me
if
be
you
the one
can,
to stand out, since I'm going to stand out anyway.
if you're going to decide on a face to have, it is helpful to have a face in mind rather than just to sort of plastically put one together for yourself.
Yeah.
And so if you're saying, it's not like anyone's going to recognize my sister around here, I'll just wear her face. If the assassins come for her, I'll send her a comforting note.
Well, she ain't here.
Yeah,
So.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if they manage to get
Yeah.
all the way home, you'll send a comforting note. But so that's what you're going to do. Is there anything I need to know about your sister?
She same bone structure, but she has sort of like a rounder face on top of it.
Okay.
So we don't actually look, well, I think we don't look that much the same until you look at bone structure. So just like out on the road, I think we would look different because she has sort of less cheekbony.
Gotcha. Okay. So resemblance, but not acute resemblance.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So does that mean that the two of you are in the lead, so to speak?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've got the brooch like right there.
Right there. Right there. Okay.
Actually, speaking of like, not to derail us, but while I was changing, have I burned out any of the stars on the mark by having the speech bond with people?
The only star that you've ever burned is one of the ones on the trident symbol when you inadvertently set that woman on fire.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
set her on fire is really not accurate. Inadvertently turned that woman to ash. That's the only one you've ever discharged.
Oh boy. Okay. Anyway.
Okay, fair enough. So you'll start making your way through the crowd towards the doors. You'll notice a couple of things about the crowd. Number one, all eyes are on you, Allie, because again, very attractive and also elf. So that's two things that make you stand out in this crowd. You also look more accomplished, you and collectively the group, more accomplished than most of the people in this line, because as I described them to you, they're the Forgotten Realms equivalents of teenagers out late at night. The second thing you'll notice is that everyone in this line has been pre-gaming, to quote something that the kids like to say, insofar as they're all either already drinking or using some other substance, because there are other substances in the Forgotten Realms as well. And most of them are impaired in terms of their thinking, and even some of them impaired enough to be impaired in terms of their motor skills. So they'll make way for you, but you'll have lots of hungry eyes and a whistle or two as you're making your way through that crowd.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I'll mimic some of their impairment to a degree so that I seem less alert and aware than I am.
Okay, could you roll a 20-sided die for me, Randy? This is a measure of how well you're doing, although you won't know it.
Okay,
It's going to
6.
go great.
Got a 6.
All right, you feel like you're doing a fantastic job, and none of your friends
All
have
right.
suggested to you that you're not. So therefore, it must be going well. Okay, so you'll
And
make.
we would tell you. We would.
You would,
You
yes.
totally would. Yeah.
Totally.
Or you'd roll your eyes and sigh heavily, yes.
Okay, you will get to the front of the line. When you get to the front of the line, the two bruisers who are on guard at the door will take one glance over in your general direction, see you, exchange glances with each other, and they'll also take a quick look at Rhiannon, who is right there wearing the symbol. And you'll see the eyes on one of them widen. He'll tap the shoulder of the other, and they'll turn to you, Allie. Are you here by invitation then?
Yes, we are.
And all of these are with you? Gesturing to your group.
Yes, they're with us.
Very well then. This way. And you'll see people at the front of the crowd who were waiting for their opportunity to get in look at you all a bit askance, like, who are you people just getting in there? I mean, come on, there's a dwarf and stuff. Come on. And
Dwarves are beautiful, I have you know.
yes. And you'll be ushered through the two very large wooden, steel reinforced or iron reinforced doors and into this place. As you go in, the guards will make a comment back and forth to each other. You all get to roll a 20, or excuse me, a 20-sided die at that.
All right.
8.
Well,
Only got a 13.
Okay, 8,
20.
6, 13, 20, and
12.
okay. 8 and 6 will hear the phrase Arita's doppelganger whispered. Okay. One guard to the other, snickering. Okay. So, and you'll find yourselves inside. Oh, terribly sorry, I did leave one thing off. They will hand anyone who is wearing a weapon out in the open a 6 to 8 inch long strip of purple silk that you are to use to tie your weapon into its sheath. So
that's fair.
I'll
I'll even make a show of doing that with the stiletto.
Okay, so you'll peace bond. Who else needs to peace bond? Eric?
Yep, I have that.
Joel,
sword.
you need 2, right?
I will peace bond the 2 short swords, not peace bonding the dagger in my back unless they mention it specifically.
No one said anything about it. And Randy, you've got a blade
Knife,
that's
like
knife-ish at your okay. So
Hi,
they'll
nice
expect
bow
you
on.
to
Pretty
okay.
bow.
Gotcha. Does anybody want to try and get cute and tie that in a way that it's not really tied, or are we all really peace bonding our weapons?
Oh.
Yeah, really peace bonding.
Okay.
I wouldn't know how to do that. So yes, really peace.
I mean, a shoelace knot can be just like yoink, done. So,
Yeah.
Like just tie a bow, right? And you just whoop.
I'm just giving you the option if that's something. These are things players do for 100. And so I'm just giving you the option to do it if it's something you wanted to do. All right. You will enter the establishment. Inside of this place is a sight for the eyes, ears, and the nose. It is a large common room that dominates the first floor of this place with many booths and dark alcoves throughout, filled with people, mostly young people, and a large bar that dominates the north, if you were coming from the south, wall of this particular establishment with a barkeep standing behind it, smiling out. He's about 6'1" or 6'2". He's dressed a bit like a dandy. His beautiful blonde hair is up. He's convivial and laughing at a group of people as he comes in. Eric, you've seen this man before, and he did not look like this.
Uh-huh.
So just keep that in mind. There are a set of stairs in the corner that obviously go up to the second floor. a set of doors that lead to the kitchen or back room area, which is probably maybe a quarter of the floor or something like that. It has high ceilings. The room's roughly a rectangle. There are purple silk banners hung along the length of the room. The dominant colors in here are purple and black in terms of color schemes. There is a raised stage at the center of the room, upon which at the moment there are two women dressed only in silks and carrying large feather fans engaged in some sort of a risque performance. There are around the stage 3 lute players that are presently accompanying that performance with a lively tune that allows those women to play off each other with those feathered fans. About a quarter of the booths and tables remain unoccupied. About 3/4 of this place is occupied. It has a shifting, sinuous, sensual, and decadent atmosphere to it. It has the smell of exotic spice, alcohol, and smoke. That's probably not just regular pipe smoke. And there is a slight haze to the air in the room. The crowd has some older, richer looking folk, about 3/4 of whom are men and 1/4 of whom are women, moving about the room. There's about a dozen to a dozen and a half of them. They are crowded around by young, excited, and drunk women and men, a ratio of about 2 times the women to men, who are sitting about, chatting, drinking, and doing things in shadowed corners of this highly decadent room. There is a palpable energy to it. Drifting through this crowd, serving, teasing, flirting, and more, are around a dozen beautiful women and 2 men wearing purple silk see-through outfits that allow you a glimpse of them that you wouldn't normally get in polite company. These are, or must be, the purple ladies for which this place is named. The alcohol, the drugs, and hookah are flowing freely in this place. The bartender is like a spider at the center of a web with people clustered around him, laughing and smiling. What would you like to do?
Wearing the mask was a mistake. I can see everything going on in those shadows.
You sure can, Eric. You can always take it off.
But Allie and I should be able to as well, right? Since we've got infravision.
You can see the bodies in those corners. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the
Probably
shattered
smell a lot.
shattered corners,
I
there's some
can
pretty
probably
wild-
smell a lot of what's going on too.
You probably can, yeah.
The shadows don't render properly.
So is there anybody who is not the same temperature that they should be for me and Allie?
That's an interesting question. Ask me once you've been in the room long enough, because the lights aren't completely out in here. There are just some shadowed corners. It's going to take you a few minutes for your eyes to adjust to that. But that's a good question. Okay.
Are we
Table or booth? Near the stage or away? Choice is yours.
Away from the stage.
away from the stage?
Yeah, let's go for a booth.
Okay. Booth away from the stage it is. Near the door, away from the door, near the bar, away from the bar.
Is there a kitchen door
There is.
visible? Okay,
It's-
let's try to find something near that.
Okay. So that's near bar on north wall, but sort of to left-hand side of bar on north wall.
Okay.
Okay. So you'll find a booth that satisfies your necessary tastes there, and you will take a seat. It won't be long before you'll see one of those women in purple meandering over in your general direction, but you'll have a few moments to talk amongst yourselves if you'd like.
That bartender seems familiar to me.
Why is that?
Is
I'm
he the
not
person from your
certain.
vision?
I believe so.
So
Hmm.
okay.
What
So
does
that
that,
sounds like
Die
bad news.
in my vision, though.
what does that mean, lad? Finnan will lean in conspiratorially.
Oh yeah, he's with us.
I couldn't say for sure.
I put a lot of stake in visions. The gods provide them to us after all. Was
Have
he
I-
doing
have I-
something?
Have I told Finnan about this vision?
I don't remember you doing so.
All right.
Oops.
Well, I think at this point we trust Finnan enough. So I will just briefly describe the vision. Chris, why don't you just remind everybody, because it's been a couple of sessions.
Yes, I'm happy to do just that. The vision was of the boy, Gedrin, in a basement. He was crying, knocked around, standing over his mother on the ground, unconscious and helpless, and curled around his younger sister was a man, dressed in finery but savage in appearance, a vampire, not disguising that fact, who the boy had clearly tussled with because there was a splinter of wood in his leg from where he must have smacked the boy away. And the boy was about to attempt to do something to stop that creature from feeding on his mother and sister, but to do so would have meant certain death. You, in a ghostly form in your dream, but able to be seen by him in it, told him to run. And he did, straight up a set of stairs and into the knees of a woman dressed in purple silks. That
Right.
was what was in your dream.
Mhm. And the bartender was the vampire guy. Yes.
That is quite correct.
Hmm.
Well, Finnan will say,
Okay, so
we should be cautious then and try to conduct our business and get ourselves in and out of here.
Unless.
okay, so as long as he's up here, that means we can see that. Yeah, we know that the attack is not happening right now.
It might have happened in the past. It might happen.
It
in
might
the
have already
future.
happened. It might happen in the future, but it's not now. So
Yes.
we're not under the gun at this moment.
And you're a
Can
pair.
you-
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and so Elric, please, if you see the woman who he runs into, please point her out to us.
He only saw her from like the waist down.
Okay.
He saw long black hair, but that was it. When as the boy was looking up, he was looking up, vision cut out.
Okay.
I don't know. If I were a halfling, it would probably make this a lot easier.
You'll have to work on that when you go to sleep tonight.
No
Okay.
birthmarks or tattoos.
Not that he could see. Not that he could see.
Anklets? Any shoes of any kind? Was this
Barefoot.
person barefoot?
Person was barefoot.
Okay.
All right.
Did I get a sense of like their skin tone and stuff?
Pale. They were petite. Lithe.
Okay.
If you're thinking what I think you're thinking, that's not the wrong thing to be thinking.
Okay.
Okay.
Do any of the servers look much like that?
They're all attractive in their own way, but all of them are human, including this pale redheaded woman who is arriving at your table. She's 5'5", 5'6". She appears merry. She's fairly buxom and curvaceous, and you can see all too much of her, despite the fact that she is clothed. It will, for those of you who might be embarrassed by such a thing, embarrass you. For those of you who might be pleased by such a thing, please you. You'll notice that her eyebrows will raise slightly when she lands her eyes on Allie. And she will, with a smirk, say, "Well met. My name is Mary. How may I serve you all?" Well, don't all speak up at once.
Yeah.
We received an invitation. And so we were hoping to meet with one who sent it.
You wouldn't happen to know who that was, would you?
We were
I
told
don't
they
know.
would
Do
recognize
we?
us.
I look at Allie.
I'll look back.
Look at Mary.
I think I understand. Yes. If in fact you're here to meet her, I suspect you'll meet her soon enough. Would you like something to
How
drink
about-
while you wait?
Yes, how's the wine?
Oh, the wine is excellent. There are many, many vintages. We even have EverQuest. if you can afford it.
Oh, how much?
Well, it would depend on how much you intended to drink. A glass of it will only be a gold coin. A bottle, a platinum one.
I'll kind of look over at Elric.
Look over at Papa Eric and say, "How
I
much?" would
pull
you
out a
say?"
platinum coin and I just set it on the table.
I was waiting for Rhiannon's
Look. I would have had to undo my armor to do that. So
So you can't ask me.
Why
Thank
are
you,
we-
Mary.
So 5 glasses or 6? 6 glasses then?
Yes.
I wish watered wine, so perhaps you can bring me water so that I may water it myself.
She'll laugh in a very merry laugh and say, "We don't serve water here." Would anyone like
Small
anything?
wine for my friend.
Very well. If you're looking for a watered down wine, then a nib is all it will take to purchase that.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do, and I got the pouch. So.
Okay, place the nib on the table. She'll collect your coin on the front end as opposed to getting it when she returns, which is the difference between this place and the last place you ordered drinks at.
Yeah, I'll have a watered wine as well. Thank you.
Okay. Do you have a nib to back that up, or have you given it all away to orphans on the street?
I do have like 4 nibs.
Okay, fair enough.
I
All right.
put another silver coin on the table and I say, Jan Barman,
Yes.
what is his name? He seems familiar to me.
Well, it's not a surprise that he seems familiar to you. He is, after all, our humble proprietor.
Is he?
And
what is
did you
his
want
name?
me to call him over? Did you need him for something?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Give me a second. I'm looking for his name, Eric.
Yeah, okay, it's fine.
Uh,
But yeah, I would know something of him.
yes, his name is Sorenef Gorender. Happy is his moniker.
Uh-huh.
So that's you good? She gave you that. You're all set for the moment?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay. She's taking your drink orders. She'll say, "Would you like something to eat or perhaps something to entertain yourselves?" She says with a merry smile, looking about at the people who are consuming other consumables in this room.
Something with a great deal of garlic, if you wouldn't mind.
Roll a 20-sided die for me, Eric.
oh my god.
What? I like garlic. I rolled a 19.
Okay. Everyone else, please roll a 20-sided die.
Also, can we roll a 10 and see how much we're exuding garlic at the moment?
I mean, enough.
Let's see.
16.
Okay, 16, 19, 3.
11.
Okay. So
Jinx.
the 3 and the 6 will pick up an eyebrow raise on her part, but it's very subtle, which is why the other people missed it. And she'll say, I think we're fresh out. Terribly sorry.
What a shame. Nothing then, thank you.
And anyone else?
I'm all
I think
right.
just the drinks to start with.
the drinks.
Very well. I shall return in a trice. And off she goes, showing you all too much of the backside of her as she departs. So
It's definitely the man in my vision.
To keep an eye on then.
So, are any of you uncomfortable in an environment like this? Because this is a very racy environment. I recognize we're on a PG-13 channel, so I'm not giving you the full situation that you're in here, but it is a very racy environment. Is anyone going to be like, I don't look up. I try to spend a lot of time staring at the table.
I will probably be uncomfortable, but I will not be like shielding my eyes. I'll just try to be low key about it.
I am probably slightly flushed, but I am also not. Like, I'm trying to play it cool.
This place is exciting
So-
to you. Yeah. Okay.
That's fair.
I'm not, yeah, I'm just kind of like, it's It's like going to a museum or something. I guess, you know, look at the aesthetic beauty. And if they pulled me up on stage and tried to feature me in something, you know, like erotic dance or something, then I'd probably like be embarrassed or
All right.
uncomfortable.
As a
That's
dungeon
your
master,
threshold.
as
Wow.
a
Put that
dungeon,
down
my
in your
threshold.
notes, Chris.
as a dungeon master, never volunteer that information. But,
Yeah, well, sure.
but yes, thank you. Good to know. Good to know. Noting that on my record, yes, sir. Okay, and Rhiannon,
I'm
no
not
worries.
no.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, you'll chatter briefly amongst yourselves, and as you do so, you'll notice that the music shifts, and the women are making their way off stage and into the back of the place. As your drinks
I look
are,
at Allie. I'm like, you know what's going to happen, right?
Do
Anyway.
I mean, we're already inside. I mean, wasn't the point of the contact that she was supposed to get us in?
as the music shifts, it turns to a sort of an ethereal, haunting tune. And you'll notice that everyone in the place will begin paying very careful attention to what's about to happen next. It quiets slightly. The chatter dies down. That's a little troubling because now you can hear the moaning going on, but nevertheless, the bartender will call out in a loud, jolly voice. This must be why people call him Happy. Fair deep night, gentle revelers. You're in for a special treat this eve. Please attend as one of our most talented ladies moves among you. And from the stairs on the second floor, there will be a poof, sort of like, you know, ninjas throw down that ball and you get a little thing of smoke. Oh,
Which Aaron can see
Smoke
through.
someone must have their
Which I can
hands
see
on one of
through,
those.
yeah.
Which you can see through it with your mask on. How about
That's right.
that? So you can see the woman who just threw it down. Welcome, Arita, the Silver Fox. Eric, this is exactly who you thought it would be.
It's a bit like saying chai tea.
Yes, it is a bit like
Yeah.
saying chai tea, but
Took me a second.
maybe
River.
maybe the bartender doesn't speak Elvish.
True.
She will emerge from the smoke, and all eyes are on her from around the room. It quiets, as I said, to see what exactly she has in mind. She is all alien grace and beauty, with long blue-black hair, braided down her back, coming together in strands down her back. She is barefoot. She is wearing purple silks, sort of like a top and pants outfit that almost is a I Dream of Jeannie style getup.
Oh, boy.
Little bit different from what the rest of the people in here wear, and it's designed in this particular instance to bear her midriff. She is also wearing a mask, eyes up only. So it's a half mask, and it's probably leather, but it's probably painted or dipped in silver, and it has the ears of a fox. She moves with a liquid grace, as she's engaged in what amounts to, frankly, acrobatics as she's leaping from place to place, moving across the room. She has one notable item on or in her possession, and that is a necklace that is in a gorget that is tight to her throat, but it appears to be like a star sapphire or something similar.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And she begins a display of sensual acrobatics to the haunting ethereal music, which is probably Elvish in origin, that the three flute players are presently engaged in, leaping from bar to table to the central stage, back to tables, and making eye contact in a haughty and mockingly flirty way with pretty men and women alike throughout the crowd. You have a moment before she notices you. Anything?
I mean, I'm definitely paying attention because I know exactly who that is.
I'm going to avoid eye contact and softly sing "Wake Me Up Before You Go." And as a counter song against any possible like hypnotic effects or
Interesting.
attempts to charm.
So I'll ask a question here because we had a question before. Rhiannon, I assume it is not going to be your intention to directly and intermediately interact with this person because you assume that's someone else's responsibility. Yes?
Correct. Yep.
So if you need to take care of something, now's a good moment.
Okay, cool.
Okay, fair enough.
I will slip into the back and let them make
Look for
contact.
the jinx. You'll look for the jinx.
Actually, I think that while everybody is focused up on this particular performer, would be an excellent time to slip out of the booth and make my way down to the cellar.
Did you see a set of stairs that led to the cellar?
Did not see. I assume they're in the kitchen, which is why I put us at a table near that. So, well, so I would. And if anybody asks, I'm looking for stronger stuff.
I
Feels
also
like a dangerous
assume
place
that
to go
Rhiannon
alone.
left the brooch for us to.
Yes, that's fair.
Yeah,
She wants to
okay,
pass it off to someone.
Yeah.
Who choose who you pass it off to?
I mean,
Yeah.
I'll pick it up.
Okay, so
Oh.
Allie, Bruce. Okay, got it. So Joel, you'll take the opportunity before she spots you to hop up and try to make your way to the kitchen.
Right. I'm yes.
So remind me to get back to you in like 5 minutes-ish time.
I
Okay.
feel like I should go. I don't like the idea of any one of us going off by themselves.
So perhaps you'll
Probably a good
follow.
call.
If you want Finnan to do that, Finnan can do it.
Yeah.
Your call, Randy.
I'll go with Joel. That's fine.
Okay.
I'll ask Finnan to keep an eye on her.
Companions.
I mean,
Okay.
Keep them under control, Finn.
What gives you the impression that I have that capacity?
Allie and I are trading notes, and I'm like, yeah, no,
Okay.
yes.
So you'll get up, you'll move away from the table. As she's moving around the room, and this sort of dancing about the room and moving, it's like a sensual circus performer, I guess is how I would describe it, right? She's very attractive, and she looks a lot like you, or rather, you look a lot like her. Although you're not exact twins, more sisters or cousins than twins. And she's capable of being sensual without being overtly sexual in the way that maybe a human woman would be doing in order to attract attention at the moment. She's got the advantages, the alien grace of being an elf, right? And she's using it to her maximum capacity. You'll note that there are some aspects of how she moves that are unfamiliar to you, Allie. You're like, okay, yeah, I should probably be like taking freaking notes here because
I'm definitely taking mental notes.
yeah, like I'm definitely taking mental notes. And so that's a thing. The situation has a bit of a vibe of the Salma Hayek moving about the room in From Dusk Till Dawn. Okay, so if you're looking for what is this like, it's kind of like that. A little less mean, but definitely teasing. And at last, her eyes will flick to all of you as she's approaching, right? So you can sort of see. You can see the eyes through the mask. You can see the smile below it, but the rest of the facial expressions are hidden in much the same way that Eric has going on at the moment. And she will smile for an instant when she lays eyes on you, Allie. Probably because the two of you look a lot alike, and also because she's probably detected the thing that you are wearing in a way that is designed to be out in the open. And maybe I was just gonna say I would have kind of placed it where the cloak pin would be. So it's very like for the half cape. So it's very kind of right there in the open. And that smile will deepen slightly when she sees what you're wearing, and then deepen even more when she flicks her gaze over to Eric. That smile went from friendly and teasing to slightly predatory when she puts together the pieces between the two of you. And you, Eric, and you, Allie, will feel a slight shiver go up your spine as you realize that you are face-to-face is perhaps the wrong word. We haven't gotten face-to-face yet, but you're in the room with a person that you have very strong thoughts, opinions, feelings. You created this person, Eric. You've long
It's very
admired
surreal.
this person, Allie, and there they are. And so you kind of wonder to yourself, right? Like, what is going on in the mind of this person? Could I know what's going on in the mind of this person? If I were writing this person's dialogue, what would they do? Like, it's the sort of thing that I have to imagine would go through the mind of an author, or somebody like yourself, Allie, who has a real intimate knowledge of the character, that, you know, the two of you are probably experiencing this sort of like shared whatever. I wonder if anybody could read your thoughts at this particular moment. In any event,
I lean over toward Allie. One gold piece she goes for you.
I'm not taking that bet.
She works her way around the room, taking her time, avoiding the table that you are at, but stalking around it, as though her intention is to end this predatory dance at that location. Finnan, who is still with you, will lean over conspiratorially and say, "This fox appears to be a predator."
Unsurprisingly.
Absolutely.
Finally, she arrives at the table adjacent to yours, dances to gain the attention of the men and women, two men, two women, both young, seated at this table, but really paying attention to all of you, and then somewhat unexpectedly makes a leap from their table onto yours, knocking the drink that you have in front of you, Eric, over into your lap. It's only recently arrived, so it's nearly full. What would you like to do?
Well, apparently I am now damp.
So be damp. You know what?
Hopefully that was Rhiannon's small wine rather than the
The
Elverquist.
Elverquist.
It was the ElderQuest.
Ah!
Because you guys were drinking the good stuff.
I will pick my glass up at that point.
As you react, because it's very
Damn that
difficult,
18 charisma, 18 dexterity.
as it is hard for you not to react when something like that occurs, when liquid comes flying into your lap, right? Especially expensive liquid that you weren't expecting to get knocked over. And you, Allie, will firmly grip your glass and move it out of it.
Yeah, I'll like very, very casually pluck mine up.
You'll notice that she was making eye contact with you when she did that. So she kicked that drink rather deliberately over into Eric's lap, but she was looking at you when she did it to see what your reaction was, which
I'm
apparently
actually gonna
was to preserve the
smirk a little
drink.
bit.
Okay. Yeah,
I will smirk and preserve the drink because I think honestly it's funny. It's funny as hell.
Good thing you didn't take the bet.
So she'll smirk right back at you from under that mask as you do that. And then she'll flick her eyes around the rest of the group. It takes her an instant to make her way around the rest of the group and pretty much dismiss everybody but you and Eric. So let's go over to that. Let's go over to that door to the kitchen for a moment. Okay, so Joel, you and Randy are blundering over towards the door to the kitchen. You've made your way through the crowds. You're trying to avoid indelicate activities that are between you and there. You're standing in front of the door. Just because the DM loves to roll 00 checks. One moment, please.
Okay.
Okay,
And I'm
go
holding
ahead.
a cup in an empty glass in my hand
Mhm.
while we do this. So, all right.
Did you shotgun that extremely expensive elven wine in
I
order to
actually
obtain?
I did not pour any into the cup.
There
I
you
had
go.
my cup that was empty from the beginning.
Even better. Okay.
Like
I'm
that
staying
bottle
sober.
is almost entirely Allie and me. Unless Randy had some of it.
Nope.
Nope, just Allie and me.
All right. Fair enough. It sounds like a series that's going to be on television this fall. Allie and me. Okay. So Randy,
Your Purple Lady Platinum Club members.
Right?
Yeah.
is that how you
Allie
get
and
into
me
the
and
platinum club?
ElverQuest.
So, did anything come of that?
No,
percentile dice?
no, that wasn't
Okay.
the doors swing right open and knock into you. That was the percentile dice. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So just go in and look around.
Okay, so you will go to push the door to the kitchen open.
Yes,
Okay.
I will.
You will discover in so doing that that door does not swing in that direction. Clearly, the door to the kitchen swings out.
Okay. So the servers have to have a way to get back there. So is there a handle?
There is a handle, yes.
Okay.
So you'll deploy said handle and attempt
I will,
to push into the
yes.
room. Okay.
Look, I'm
Randy?
not sure
I'll
how
pull it
anything
for
in
me.
the Purple Lady doesn't swing both ways, but yeah, all right.
It's designed to keep it's designed to
okay.
keep the casual drunkard from blundering into the kitchen.
Of course.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
pull it out and pass through.
Okay, fair enough. Randy, do you want to do something specific or are you just lurking in his shadow?
I casually place a hand like on his shoulder behind him or whatever, so that we can establish a mental communication and be like, and what are we doing?
And as you say that, you are suddenly in the chaotic kitchen of the Purple
Yes.
Lady. There are a half a dozen men and boys, really, is how I would describe the people in this kitchen. No one in here is older than 13 years of age, which is probably why they're not engaged in the other activities. And they're furiously attempting to make food and drinks. They will look up at you because you just blundered through and you're wearing armor. You got
China
something for
labor,
that?
Illyra? Really? It's fine.
Hey now, she's not the proprietor.
I guess that's true.
Which way to the wine cellars?
So, Randy, your question has gone unanswered. Who are you? A boy will say towards the front of the crowd.
I'm here to inspect your stock and see what the best things are.
Nobody told us there'd be anybody coming back here to do that. Who sent you?
Well, then just point me where I need to go, and I'll be on my way.
Please roll 2 10-sided dice for me. This is you attempting to use your charisma to influence these kids.
Is it 2d10 or percentile?
It's 2d10, terribly sorry. You add them together, and then I add or don't a number.
17. Good, because otherwise it was a 98.
I'm sorry, that was a great commentary on D&D second edition.
Thank you.
You add them together and then I add a number, or I don't.
As the case may be. All right. These kids see that you're armed. Their gazes will flick down to the fact that you're wearing a weapon, and you do have the famous Pirate King with you. So clearly you must be here on some business, and the boy will point to the right.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay.
They're here on wrong business.
So
flip him a nib and move in that direction.
you're going to tip them?
Sure.
Why the hell not? Yeah, kids.
It's a nib.
Buy yourself something nice. All right, so you'll flip them a nib. Randy, you still have gotten no answer to your question.
That's fine.
Okay, so we have a separate Randy Joel adventure underway at the moment. Split the party.
I'm here for
Split the party. Okay, so you will head down that hallway.
Mm-hmm.
The kitchen will swiftly give way to a cluttered hallway that ends in a door. Looks fairly sturdy. That probably goes down to something.
Excellent. I will try to open it.
All right. It opens because why would you ever want to just lock your cellar? That would seem like a bad idea. Is there something in your cellar you'd need to lock down there?
Apparently not. If it's open.
Apparently not if it's open. And
if it's deep enough, they can't hear the screams.
now you can see using infravision in the dark, but that Randy guy behind you, he can't.
Well, that was going to be my question. Is it lit down there?
Oh no, it's not. It's not lit down there, bro.
Okay.
Is there a torch or lamp nearby from the hall on the hall, like
Back in the
wall sconce,
kitchen?
or-
Back in the kitchen there were. But for some reason they don't like this hallway.
I will go back and get a light.
So just grab a candelabra off of one of the tables and drag it over in this direction.
I mean, is that how the only way that the kitchen is lit is candelabras?
There are candles all about, but there's also an oil lamp at the center of the room, hanging above the center of the ceiling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No.
which I'm
So,
assuming
I'll
you're not
grab
going to
a-
hop up there and go, kids, you don't need any light in here. I'm taking the
That's
oil
right.
lamp.
No. I'll take a
You'll
candelabra.
work in the dark. In the dark,
Okay,
Dad.
I'll take a
we're
candelabra and start humming Phantom of the Opera, and let's go.
So once we're far enough down that we're out of earshot of the kids, I will respond to Randy. What I want to do is figure out whether or not the attack already happened.
Are you responding to Randy, or are you responding to Randy?
I'm
When I rejoin you.
skin touch.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
I want to find out if the attack already happened. If so, I don't want to be sitting out there if Gedrin needs rescuing now.
Makes sense.
All right. So 2 bold men carrying a candelabra will make their way down the basement stairs. If only Eric were here to tell you whether this is the same set of stairs in his vision.
If only.
Meanwhile, back to the main room. So you traded a gaze. You'll notice that she has a smell. You're close enough now that you can pick that up. It's spicy, sweet, little gingery. It's got a feeling of danger to it. If a smell can have a feeling of danger to it. There's a little sheen of sweat on her body. She is, after all, performing. And you can see altogether too much of her. Eric, would you like to describe the tattoos that this woman has?
Well, it depends on the era that we're talking about, but based on what time we think we're in and what time so she has a multi-pointed golden sunburst tattooed at the small of her back, and she has a silver fox tattoo somewhere on her body. I don't remember exactly where.
Midriff section, which could be why that's bare, and could be why she has that nickname here at the Purple Lady. Okay.
That I think those are the only 2 at the moment.
That sounds about right to me too. So, but what you would
she has
expect
more later.
Well, when you get one tattoo, it's hard to stop, right?
Right. Right.
So anyway, while looking briefly at Allie, evaluating the rest of the group, and then settling her gaze back in your direction, Eric, she will drop to her knees. So now she's level with about your face on the table, because you're a big man even when sitting down. And
just sit there.
She'll are your hands back? Like
no. Well, I mean, yeah, because I got the lap full of Elberquist. But yeah,
that sounds like the name of a band. Lap full of Elberquist.
I'm full of Elberquist.
Okay,
Sure.
And rather than do what you expected, which is to sort of move in your direction as she begins moving forward on her knees, she'll actually sort of lunge left at the last moment and move in to brush against Allie while looking at you, Eric. She'll brush against you, Allie, with a sensual, predatory grace, just sort of touching you, and you're just sort of en fuego, like, holy crap, in this situation. And she will whisper something into your ear. Allez, Nis. She's looking at you, Eric. What a lovely rose you have. That's to you, Allie.
Why, thank you.
She will move out from where she can breathe sensuously into your ear, and look at you, Eric, up and down. My, but you're a tall one, my Ivabin. But rest easy. I'm a very good climber.
I'm sure you are, my lady.
So
you have the back muscles for it, I had noticed.
Were you paying attention to my back then?
Somewhat.
Well, you should really pay attention to all sides of me, I'd think. She'll flick her gaze down from you to the pendant that Allie is wearing. Looks as though you brought me a present of sorts.
So we did, didn't we, Elric?
That we did, Amara. Indeed.
Hmm. She will
And I
hop.
was paying attention to all of you, my lady.
Good.
How could one not?
She'll smile at you. She'll hop down from the table. Again, all liquid grace in hopping down from the table. Everyone in this room is paying attention to what is occurring right now, right here. And she will say, running her finger along your nose as it projects from the mask, Eric, like the nose, right? This is a dangerous place to talk, as eager eyes and ears are everywhere. But allay, my Kyrie Kira. Given this place's purpose, we have the perfect opportunity to slip away to a more fitting spot. She's now at your side, Eric.
What a wonderful suggestion.
Ah,
I certainly think so.
do you? And she'll laugh a little laugh and then plant an open mouth kiss on you, Allie. What do you want to do?
That sounds
I'm
three
gonna
gold
go.
pieces.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna lean into it. I will return the kiss.
All right, Eric, this is how to describe this experience? Surreal begins
Surreal.
to describe this experience. Arousing
Accurate.
begins to describe this experience. It is clear. I don't even need to get you two to roll here. That she's doing something to play the two of you off against each other, right? Why or what the strategy there is anyone's guess, but there's just too many gazes and flirtations and sudden gestures back and forth. Maybe she's testing to figure out what the story is between the two of you. Hard to say. But while her tongue is in Allie's mouth, you'll notice her eyes are on you, perhaps gauging to how you're responding to that.
Terribly jealous.
The room erupts into hoots, hollers, and laughs while the two of them are basically making out at the table, and she's having her fun with you. And the bartender loudly says, "Well, it looks as though the fox has chosen her prey." And Finnan, in a somewhat disappointed voice, will say,
Oh yeah, Finnan's still there. isn't he?
yeah, he's like, you guys have forgotten he
Taking
even
notes.
exists.
He's easy to overlook.
Right? He will say, in a somewhat disappointed way, a fitting analogy, like in that very like flat, almost British disappointment tone. So now we'll return to the two gentlemen headed into the darkness of the basement. So, okay. You've come? Yes, Joel?
As we're going, I am undoing the peace bond on one of my short swords.
Just in case you need a
Smart about
weapon?
this.
Just in case you need a weapon of
What's
some
that?
kind? Just in case you need a weapon of some kind or another?
I'm not drawing it. You know, I'm sticking with my. You know, we're looking for strong booze. Stick.
Yeah.
But, you know, I want it ready in case I need it.
Seems
and
totally
remind me,
reasonable.
I totally forgot we can use our marks as illumination.
You
I can't remember
absolutely can.
if that uses up a jewel or anything, or if that just seems to be an innate.
That is correct. It's the best you can do with it is torchlight, but you're not rocking much more than that with this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I already have my thing open, so I'll go ahead and do that.
Does
And
that mean
then-
you'll put the candles down?
You know, I'll hold on to the candles. Never hurts to have a little bit of fire on your side.
It never does. Rhiannon would
and,
probably agree with you.
And I'll have one of my throwing knives. I'll carry that in my left and have one of my throwing knives in my right hand.
All right, so now we're armed, boys, or we're ready to be armed, as the case may be. Okay. So you'll come to the bottom of the stairs. This looks literally like a storeroom at an inn. It's got that dusky, I'm underground and there's sewer around here somewhere smell to it. And there's casks and stacked things everywhere. There's food, there's drink, there's all sorts of things about this room. That could be the thing, Eric. Yeah, really great if he was here to see this.
I don't remember him describing
there's probably only one wine cellar. So let's.
I mean, probably
let's-
only one wine cellar.
Right. So if there's racks, move throughout the room so we can make sure that there are not, bodies lying on the floor. And then if quick sweep, and then if there is nothing immediately apparent, look around a little.
I'd be
See.
a bad dungeon master if I didn't ask you this question. So if you found a body laying on the floor, what would you do?
It depends on whether or not. Okay. Is it dark? It's not dark enough that I can see heat, is it?
It is not dark enough that you can see heat. There is no body that you found so far. That was just if I would be a bad dungeon master if I didn't ask you the question. If you found a body lying on the floor, what would you do? But I think you've given me your answer.
I would not be surprised, given that we know that the bartender is a vampire.
Mhm.
But I think we would try to determine if it is the mother or daughter that Eric saw in his vision. If I mean, we didn't see them, but if it appeared to be a woman or a young
Child.
female, how fresh the kill seemed to be.
Gotcha.
Those kinds of things. Yeah.
All right. Are you staying together as you're searching this room, or are you splitting up to search it faster?
No.
I think we definitely stay together.
Okay.
I'm behind the armor. I'm behind the armor.
Yes.
All right. So you're staying together to search this room. Excellent. Excellent. I'm taking the liberty of rolling a d6 for you, Joel. Okay. It's going to take you a few minutes to search this room. So I'm going to go back upstairs for a second. Okay. I'm back upstairs. So she will, standing after finishing her kiss, which will leave you breathless, Allie, and trailing the silk from her top over the two of you as she goes, offer her hands out as though it is intended for each of you to take one.
I'll reach out and take one.
Left or right?
How is she positioned when she gets I don't know which side.
The two of you are sitting next to each other. She was in front of you, making out with you while making eye contact with Eric. She'll drop to the ground in between the two of you, take a couple of steps forward, and then put her hands out backward. So left is the easy one to take because you're on that side.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
Okay. Eric, you'll take the right?
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. And she will drag you with everyone in the room making comments to themselves, clapping and hooting and hollering across this room and towards the stairs.
It's interesting because I was a little bit like, right, it's okay. We're not that far advanced in the timeline yet. It's okay.
Yeah.
So
you haven't done that to her yet.
No.
Are you two in? No, because it wouldn't matter, would it? Oh, well, that's too bad. So you're just thinking this to yourselves. Okay.
Yeah.
So she'll lead you across the room, up a set of stairs, and off of this floor. This party is now separated into 3 different groups. One in the basement, one on the second floor, and one returning from the Jakes. And at that moment, we'll take our first break.
Yeah.
This cannot possibly go wrong.
All right.
Not at all.
Shenanigans will be happening. Don't go away.
Okay.